Hello folks, welcome back again. Nowadays, everyone are aware about ChatGPT, right? It will gives the responses that the questions which we ask. So today, what we will do, we are going to integrate the ChatGPT with our Spring Boot application. Let's see how we will do. First of all, we will see what is the endpoint that ChatGPT has exposed, and how we will see what is the request payload it is going to accept and how the response is going to send. So here you can see this is the ChatGPT endpoint which the ChatGPT has exposed, openapi.com by v1 by chart by completion. So it is accepting the request payload in this manner. You have to send the model and the message is as a list. So in this list we need to send as a object, that is role, and content is nothing but the message, the question which we want to ask. This is what the content which we need to pass. So here the coming to response, how it is going to send means, so it will send the response as a list. In this list it has an object, that object can index and a message. In this message it has in this message object it has two different things, that is user, and the content is nothing but the answer it is going to return. Okay, so let's see how we are going to integrate to our Spring Boot application. So first of all, let us write all the utility classes which are needed, that is nothing but the DTO classes. First of all, you need the message is nothing but a DTO class, in which we contains role and the content. What is the content is nothing but the question or the answer. So I have took the Lombok dependency. I have at the rate data, all house constructor, no house constructor, and the builder. These four annotations I have added, which comes from Lombok dependency. So in this I have two variables, that is role and the content. So this is the all about message DTO. So next we are going to write this choice. In the choice DTO I wrote index and the message is nothing but which is the message DTO which we have declared. And next going to request. Here in the request I have taken again two variables, that is model and list of messages. Why? Because in the here you can see it is going to accept model and list of messages. That's why I took model and list of messages. The variable name should be very clear, it should be messages and it should be model. Okay, coming to response, how it is giving response, choices, right? Here you can see list of choices is nothing but it, I don't wrote here, you can see this is how it will give. Okay, choices is nothing but list of messages again. Why? Because index and message, list of choices, which is nothing but choice. In this choice you can contains index and message. In the message you contains again you can see role and content. This is how we need to write all the DTO classes. So once you write the DTO classes, what you will do, you are going to consume the third party URL, right? So which was exposed from OpenAPI. So first of all you have that URL, so we need to consume that URL. How we are going to consume? By using we are already know the how to consume the third party URLs, which means by using the REST template. Okay, so first of all we are going to create a bean for the REST template. This is the consumer class I have created. In this I created one bean, so which is nothing but template. So in this I have created this REST template. I have created the object, and then I got from the object REST template object I got the interceptors. In this header I'm going to authorize the bearer token. Why? Because ChatGPT, you know, if you do in the Chrome itself, you need to log in into that. Instead of login, we are going to log in by using this bearer token. So with this bearer token I took from the OpenAPI platform by API keys. You can see here currently I have navigate to this URL, and you can generate a secret key, and then you can use that secret key in there itself in our application. So what happens in my scenario, I have used all the requests, so I have to go on different request. So here if you want to create, you can click on this create new secret key, you can give any name and create secret key. It will create that. If you click on done, you can copy. Okay, this is how you need to create your secret key, and you should give that secret key here. instead of I have kept in the application property file. If you want to hard code, you can hard code. Instead of, you should follow the standards, no? So that's why you need to keep in the application properties. So one more thing, with that you also need to add one more thing, that is model. I will show here. Currently I am using this model GPT 3.5 turbo. This is the model I'm going to use. And next, API key, this is the API key I'm going to use, which I generated in the generate keys, open a platform by generate keys. Authentication key is nothing but a bearer token. This I have generated. You also create your own ChatGPT account and you can access that one. This is the URL that we are going to hit. So next, how we are going to hit. Now we have our URL is there, the exposed URL. Now we have our REST template which is ready, which is going to consume. Now let's go to the service class. Let's see how we are going to consume that service. In the service class, I am getting this message from the controller. So what I did, on the message object, I kept this message and I added role as the user. This is the message object. So I added this to the list of messages, which is nothing but finally we need to send this bot request, right? This is the request payload. So in this payload I have done the model, attached this model which I took from the application properties. One more, the list of messages, the message I have inserted here, which I got from the request. Okay, so finally what I'm doing, I'm going to provide this URL from the application properties, the request, and the response I'm expecting as bot response, which we already created in the TTO class. So finally what I'm checking is result not equal to null. Then I am going to get the content. Why? Because in the, you can see here, in the content itself we are getting the answer. So in the request we are passing the question in the content, in the response we are getting the answer in the content, the same object. So here response, I am assigning this the string to the response, I am returning this. So this is how we need to hit our third party URL which was exposed by the ChatGPT. Now I am going to write one controller class. Why? Because you need to hit this, right? So I wrote this bot controller here. You can see service. I am going to take one parameter, that is request param question. Question is going to, I am sending to this service class. In the service class it will take and it will process and it will hit the third party URL which is ChatGPT URL, and it will return the result. That result I am going to return here. So this is how we need to integrate ChatGPT into our SpringBoot application. Okay, fine. Let's check whether how we need to run this application. So let me start my application. So this is where we need to start our application. So here I am starting. Let's see, once the application got started, we will see whether it is giving response or not. Okay, previously I have configured the Swagger itself also. 9009 it was exposed. Let's see. So 9009, so this is the Swagger URL 9009. okay, so let me quickly hit this URL. You can see yeah, the URL got activated. Now you can see bought by us. This is the get mapping we wrote. In this question I am going to try. So question I am asking, what is 2 plus 2? Okay, I need to execute this one. It is going to load. First of all, this request goes to our controller. You can see here 2 plus 2 is equal to 4. This is the response which is given by ChatGPT. First the request will go to our application. Our application will interact with the third party URL which is exposed by ChatGPT. The ChatGPT will process our request and give the response. That response again sends to our application. Our application sends the response to this Swagger. This is how the flow will happen. So if you really think this video is useful, if you really like the content, do a comment.